Hi guys, it's John from Bright Wargaming and welcome back to my series on miniature painting basics, where today we're going to be looking at how I paint green slime and lenses. Obviously these techniques can be applied across to any colour, but I happened to be painting some green and I thought I'd take a quick video. Alright guys, enjoy! Right, I'm going to go through how I do my sort of sludgy, slimy green. So this technique is sort of how you can do slime. The other thing you can use it for is if you're doing sort of gemstones or glow effects, but just how you apply it is slightly different. But essentially we're going for a sort of a glowing slime sort of effect in this sort of gutter just here. Okay. So that one there, and I've got another one here which is slightly more, which is slightly more interesting because it's got a grate on it as well. Okay, cool. So that's that. And get them done. Cool. So the colours I'm going to be using are starting off with a dark green. Following up with a goblin green. You see what's going on here. Then I'm going to use a little bit of a Scorpina green, and then right at the end I'm going to be using livery green. So you can see what's happening there. We're going from dark through to light, and essentially this is a nice, really quick way of doing it, where essentially you get the paints to do the work for you. And so that's that. Cool. Right, so that's me with the paints I'm going to use, all pre-mixed. The paintbrush I'm going to be using throughout is a Artis Opus Series S, size 2, so it's really worth spending some money and investing in a really good quality sort of size 2, and what you will realise very quickly is that you use your smaller brushes much less if you've got a really good quality large brush, because actually what matters is the quality of the point, and with a big brush you can hold more paint. Right, so we're going to work on this here today, and so what we're going to do is we're going to start off with the dark green. So this is that one, dark green. And what we're going to do is just sort of outline. Right, if you look in terms of the consistency of the paint, it is somewhere between a sort of single cream and a milk. Careful when you're sort of loading up your paintbrush that you only get paint up to sort of that first bit, up to sort of not more than sort of halfway up the bristles. So what we're going to do is just quickly just outline where it is that we want this sludge to be. So I'm going to have it having collected in the corner, and I'm just going to sort of outline it really roughly. Where I want it to be. So this is the bit of the sludge which is going to be seen the least, so you don't need to worry too much about it. So you see I've just got a little L shape just in the corner there. Okay, so while that's still wet, most importantly, because this is where you can get the paint to do all the work for you, you go in with the next colour. And what you're trying to do is just, so this is essentially getting even waterier, is that you're trying to essentially paint inside. Oh, that's too wet. painting inside the lines that you've made with the previous one. So we're just getting, let's see if we can get up close with that. So that, okay, that is just green inside green. So you've got dark going to light. Okay. Right. And then moving quickly on, not giving it too much of a chance to dry. Again, just sort of making sure you've not got too much on your brush. So that's maybe just a little bit too much there. Okay. Here's an even thinner line. And the great thing about the paint being watery is that it pools in all the right places. Okay. So let's just push it up just a little bit more into that corner there. And maybe just do a little dot just there. Okay. So you should see how it's starting to take shape just nice and quickly. And so again, the whole point is to try and be relatively quick with this and let the paint do the work and let it essentially mix on the model. And again, because you're using quite watery paints, you can go back over it a second time, add a bit more depth, add a little bit more sort of substance to the glow to make it stand out more. And just build it up. Okay, so you see that's now getting properly slimy green. It's starting to look as though it's really sort of bubbling and oozing and just being a bit disgusting. Huh? Okay, so now what we do is we go in with the last one, which is Livery Green, which doesn't cover very well, so it's really useful for things like this. And it is almost neon in colour if you paint it straight on white. So all we're going to do is just dot in the very where we just want to make it look as though we've got a bit of a bubble. That is essentially how I do it. So how you would apply this to a lens, so you're doing a lensing effect, is that, do it with my thumb, you start with the dark green and you paint the whole of the lens in the dark green. And you move to the next one. What you're doing then is you're just covering off the arc, and a little splodge just there on the opposite side, because what happens is light hits a lens, it travels through the lens and gets refracted out the other side. And then that light glows, so we're going to put in a little bit of light glowing through, and then you just want to highlight where you dot where the paint's coming in, or where the light's coming in, and you line where the light's coming out, because it's being refracted. And that's how you do a lens. So exactly the same thing, exactly the same combination of paints. That's how you do a green lens. Okay, cool. Happy days. Hope you've enjoyed it. Take care, guys. Catch you soon. So slime effects, and I'll show you the finished product. So that is that there. So it's just a little bit of something just to catch your eye, so that it's not just all beige on the base. That one there. Just exactly the same. All it is, just to catch your eye, just make you think that it's not all clean, tidy sewers. Cool, alright. Hope you've enjoyed it. Quick and easy tutorial. Enjoy, bye.